What is up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. So today I'm going to be going over how I think The Flash Season 8 could improve from The Flash Season 7. But of course, before we get started, make sure that you guys like, share, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment any other video suggestions for me. So starting off for The Flash Season 8, of course, I think they really need to make sure that this Armageddon crossover is going to be a good crossover. Some of the things I'd really like to see happen, I'm really hoping that Despero ends up being a very, very good villain. He looks pretty comic book accurate, and he looks, he looks pretty threatening. So hopefully they make him a really cool villain. And the second thing I want to have happen, I kind of want, there to be some good scenes between Ray Palmer and Ryan Choi. Maybe Ray Palmer, like, sort of passing the torch over to Ryan Choi. Is obviously in the comics, Ryan Choi is another version of the Atom, so Ray Palmer sort of passing the torch, saying, hey, here, you can be the Atom now, sort of type thing. I don't know. I think that would be really, really cool to see. But with that being said, in this crossover, I'm not exactly looking forward to some of these characters appearing, Alex Danvers appearing. I would have much rather have had Supergirl appear, although the actress that plays her is nowhere near where they're filming the crossover, so that would be kind of unlikely that she would appear. Or instead of Alex Danvers, another candidate for her would definitely be Martian Manhunter. I think it's kind of insane that he didn't end up appearing in this crossover, or he won't end up appearing, I should say. Now, I'm not exactly looking forward to, Batwoman appearing on The Flash either. I'm not, particularly, looking forward to that at all. But I think it would have been really cool if maybe Luke Fox would have appeared. That would have been awesome to see. Batwing in The Flash, I feel like that would be pretty cool. But yeah, all the other heroes that are appearing, this should be a pretty good crossover if they do it right, and hopefully they will. But then, as for Reverse Flash and Damien Dark, I don't know what their role is going to be. I really hope that they're not going to be fighting with the heroes, unless it's sort of something like, they're just out for themselves. They themselves just don't want to die. It's not because they actually care about anything, because I really think they should not become, like, heroes or anti-heroes. They have to be, I think they should definitely stay villains in order for this crossover to actually work for them. Maybe they're, like, trying to form, like, another Legion of Doom type thing. I think that would be absolutely awesome to see. But yeah, now on to the rest of the Flash Season 8. So first of all, Allegra. Ever since Season 7, I absolutely hate Allegra's character. I do not like her at all. The only real reason I think she could be on the show is for Iris's reporter storyline. I guess that sort of makes sense. The only reason she was on the show before, I guess, was because of Nash Wells. But other than that, I really feel like they should just find a way to write her out of the show, because I really am not a fan of her, of what she brings to the table for The Flash. But for at least episode 1 of Season 8, we should still be seeing, Jay Garrick, Nora, Bart, Cisco. They should still be on the show. And then speaking of Cisco, I'm not against Chester replacing Cisco. I think Chester's actually a pretty good character, and unlike Allegra, I feel like Chester has an actual role in the show. He's the new mechanic guy, sort of like Cisco. So yeah, I'm really not against him staying on the show. Now, as for the villain other than Despero for Season 8, I think it's got to be a speedster villain. It absolutely has to be a speedster villain. Red Death, Cobalt Blue, maybe even Daniel West's version of the Reverse Flash. I just think if they're going to mess up this season, it would be because they decided to have a non-speedster villain, because we're coming close to the end of The Flash. I think the maximum amount of seasons that The Flash is going to last is 10. However, I think it's likely that Season 9 might be the last season. If Arrow can last 8 seasons, I think that The Flash will be able to last at least 9, depending on, of course, what Grant Gustin wants. Now, as for the villain, I feel like the villain is very important. Of course, Abracadabra in Season 7 teased Chronarch. Now, personally, I wouldn't exactly like to see Chronarch as much as I'd like to see Red Death or Daniel West's version of the Reverse Flash. Personally, I think Red Death, as Eric Wallace said, there's going to be a horrifying personal villain that the Flash is going to end up facing, I guess, later in the season. I could be wrong about that, but it sounded like he was talking about later in the season, like the back half. So if that's Red Death, I think it'd be awesome if they made him like Eddie Thawne. As a lot of people, they think Eddie Thawne might be Cobalt Blue. It's also possible that Eddie Thawne could end up being the Red Death, which that would be amazing to see. And the other villain that I'd really like to see appear for the first time is Daniel West Reverse Flash, as I said before. I just feel like his storyline would be a lot more interesting. And also, as I said in my last video, Daniel West version of the Reverse Flash, I feel like they really missed an opportunity on the show. Back in season 4, when Cecile got pregnant, they had a girl, ended up naming her Jenna, which really made absolutely no sense because I don't think they're going to do anything with her in the rest of the show. However, if Joe and Cecile ended up having a son named Daniel West, that would have been absolutely insane, because then we know in the future he's going to eventually become a version of the Reverse Flash and be another speedster villain for Barry to face. So that would be a huge Easter egg all the way back in season 4, and I really think they miss an opportunity there. So yeah, any of those villains, Red Death, Cobalt Blue, or Daniel West Reverse Flash, would be amazing to see as a villain in Season 8. And then one more thing I wanted to go over. This in Season 7, they did an Interlude Part 1, which makes us all think that there's going to be an Interlude Part 2 in Season 8. And basically all those were filler episodes. Now, I am absolutely not looking forward to Interlude Part 2 whatsoever if it's going to be anything like it was in Season 7. So I think, you know, if this Interlude Part 2 thing is going to actually be entertaining whatsoever, I think the main character, should definitely appear in those episodes. Wouldn't you guys say so? So yeah, Barry Allen should definitely appear as the Flash, not just Barry Allen, just not using his powers at all, in those episodes, assuming that it's going to be 3 episodes, and maybe that's the time where they'll, you know, throw Chronarch in and, you know, have a little 3-episode storyline with that or something along the lines of that. Maybe the Speed Force, as I said before, I think another really interesting storyline would be if, like, the Speed Force got contaminated and that made Barry turn evil. I think that would be a cool Interlude Part 2 type of storyline. But anyways, I'd say that's about it, guys. Thanks for watching. Make sure to comment your thoughts on this video down below, as well as any other improvements you guys would make from Season 7 to Season 8. Of course, I know there's a lot of other improvements needed in Season 8, you know, like the writing, something like that. But yeah, just comment any thoughts on that down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.